Heart Compass Adventure. Scene 3, Kindness Smugglers. Setting, the sun beats down over lost wages. The streets are alive with wandering tourists, neon signs, and sidewalk vendors selling everything from glitter hats to mystery tacos. You're walking light on your feet, still riding the echoes of yesterday's wildness, when suddenly, bump! A collision, gentle, deliberate, knocks into you. You turn, and there she is, the sun-kissed woman, sunglasses slightly askew, clutching a paper bag stuffed with colorful odds and ends. Her hair's messier than yesterday, wild and bright, and her smile is that same bright, reckless grin that says, "Let's blow up the rules." Beautifully, she gasps dramatically, hand over her heart. You again! How totally accidental! The sparkle in her eye says, "Nothing about this is accidental." She steps closer, lowering her voice into a conspiratorial hush. "I'm on a secret mission. Kindness smuggling. Highly illegal, extremely necessary." She pulls out a handful of tiny wrapped candies, bright stickers, tiny poems scrawled on colorful scraps of paper. "The mission," she says seriously, thrusting a handful towards you, "should you choose to accept it, smuggle as many joy bombs into strangers' lives as possible." Without being caught, she steps back, waggling her eyebrows mischievously. Style points for stealth. Bonus points if someone smiles without knowing why. She taps the bag lightly against your chest. A playful challenge. You in, traveler of the bright side? Options for how you start: a grin wide, accept the contraband, and immediately stealth drop a candy into a nearby street artist's tip jar. B, nods solemnly, pocket your joy bombs like a secret agent, and start a slow, sneaky tour of the sidewalk crowds. So laugh warmly. Then suggest a friendly competition. Whoever plants the most smiles wins a secret prize later. Did teaser highly illegal? Should I expect a sunbeam SWAT team? Then join the mission with dramatic mock espionage moves. E, write your own opening action as a kindness smuggler. You're standing at the edge of a beautiful little rebellion. How do you step into the chaos, traveler? Brilliant! You're pulling a move that's pure chaotic good. Playful, bold, but woven with real affection and gentle honesty. Exactly the kind of bright side mischief the sun-kissed woman thrives on. You narrow your eyes suddenly, your whole body shifting, your smile vanishing into a sharp, urgent expression. In one swift motion, you throw up your right hand, a universal caution. Don't move, danger, gesture. Your fingers spread, your body frozen halfway into a defensive stance. The sun-kissed woman immediately freezes mid-laugh, her eyes widening in alarm, completely focused on your right hand, trusting you, reacting instinctively. You use the distraction perfectly. Your left hand moves smoothly, swiftly, reaching into your left trouser pocket where you always keep a few small cards. Simple, sincere, your name, your contact info. Your heart races, part excitement, part pure fun. But your motion stays slow, deliberate, like a man defusing a bomb. You glance at her back, taking a quick step behind her. Your voice low, serious, a big hornet. She stiffens slightly, trusting you, vulnerable for a flash. You move in slow motion, just ridiculous enough to sell the act. And with utmost care, you slip the card into her back pocket, like a thief planting treasure instead of stealing it. The second it's secure, you step back, hands wide, and say, your voice relieved, playful, and genuinely happy, all clear. No more hornet. You flash her the warmest, most relaxed smile yet. Your relief real, your joy undeniable. You can see it immediately, the way her shoulders relax, the way a huge blooming grin spreads across her face. She knows you tricked her. She knows exactly why. And she loves it. But because you're honest at the core, you step even closer. Your voice low, heartfelt, letting no game hide the truth. I did that hornet trick just to distract someone whose name I don't know. You tap your heart lightly, like you're letting her see right into it. To smuggle a kindness gift. Done. Reaction, and she bursts into laughter. Bright, clear, free, clapping her hands together once in pure, delighted shock. She twists slightly to touch her back pocket, feeling the little card. Her smile turning softer, deeper, touched by something more than just humor. She steps forward, so close you can feel the heat of the sun and the sparkle of her joy around you, and without hesitation, she throws her arms around you in a fierce, joyful hug, quick, wild, utterly real. No words, Just a heartbeat of pure, genuine connection. When she pulls back, grinning, still catching her breath, she winks and says, "Smuggler caught. Reward pending." She tucks the card deeper into her pocket and taps it once, meaningfully, like sealing a secret. Now you can, a laugh and tease. Does the reward involve more highly questionable chaos? Inviting her into a new mini-mission. Beast smile warmly and say, "Mission complete." Unless you have a new secret operation in mind. C step closer and say, half playful, half sincere, maybe names can wait a little longer. But adventures shouldn't. D stay quiet, just holding her gaze, letting the magic breathe, trusting that the next spark will ignite naturally. Write your own next move? You've planted a kindness bomb and lit a fire of real trust. How do you move forward, traveler of joyful chaos? You hold her gaze, your smile soft and warm, not demanding anything, just offering a richer way to play. The sunlight dances in the strands of her hair, and the pulse of the city hums quietly around you, but in that moment, it's only her you're tuned into. You let a little mischievous glint flash in your eyes, then say with playful, bright energy, mission modification idea. You even make a dramatic little light bulb gesture above your head. How about, we don't play this game against each other, but as accomplices? You watch her eyes, that lovely flicker of surprise and delightful consideration sparking there. And you seize the perfect beat before she can reply, adding, your voice warm and teasing, well, you pretend to think hard. I guess sometimes it's best if everyone excels individually. You nod thoughtfully. Surely that's your yin-yang friend strength. You let a playful twinkle light your words, no criticism at all. Then you soften even further, voice dropping to something almost philosophical but never heavy, but more often, you spread your hands lightly, like opening a new idea into the air. Better together. You lean closer, dropping your voice to a soft, smiling confession. Sorry for saying that again, mutual aid. You wink at her, a teasing bright wink that says, I know you get it, even if you're pretending not to. Then a little more earnestly, but still playful, mutual aid, a factor of evolution. You tap your temple lightly, referencing it like a playful scholar. Then shrug, warm and inclusive. Individualism's a factor of evolution too. You smile wider, with a slight tilt of your head, voice low and thoughtful. If your friend were here. Her fierce individualism, plus our teamwork. You spread your hands again wide and welcoming, could make the dream work even better. You stop speaking, you just smile, calm, open, alive, and give her time. Time to think, time to feel, time to respond, not because she's pushed, but because she wants to. Reactions: this sun-kissed woman just stands there for a moment, her chest rising and falling slightly faster, her fingers fidgeting lightly with the strap of her bag, her eyes searching your face, not testing, not suspicious, but like someone finding pieces of themselves in another person's words. A slow, dazzling, soul-deep smile spreads across her face. She steps closer, almost impulsively. Her voice warm, touched, real, accomplices. She says, tasting the word like it's brand new. She chuckles softly, shaking her head in amazement. You get it! She bumps her shoulder lightly against yours, a sweet conspiratorial gesture, and says, her voice low and full of joyful mischief, all right, Frank, or whatever your real name is. She leans closer, whispering like it's a sacred secret, let's make the dream work. She holds out her hand, not stiff, not formal, open and alive, inviting a handshake, a pact, a beginning. You can shake her hand firmly, grin, and say, partners in joyful crime it is, sealing the deal. B, take her hand, but instead of shaking, do a playful secret handshake improv, making her laugh even more. So touch her hand lightly, meet her eyes warmly, and say, no force on earth, I'd rather conspire with Debo theatrically. Kiss the back of her hand lightly and mischievously, then wink for the brightest alliance of mischief. E, write your own move to seal the pact of mutual aid. You've turned a street joke into a true conspiracy of hearts. How do you seal this alliance, traveler of bright side chaos? You smile, not wide, not loud, but with a quiet glowing warmth that reaches all the way to your eyes. You reach out and lightly touch her hand, not grabbing, not gripping, just a simple, alive contact that says, I'm here, I'm real, I'm with you. As you touch her hand, you lean in slightly, eyes twinkling. And then you shift your voice, dropping into a raspy, playful Yoda impression. With you conspire I would, No force in galaxy better, young one. You deliver it with perfect timing. Equal parts ridiculous, sweet, and profoundly affectionate in its absurdity. Reaction for half a second, the sun-kissed woman just blinks. Then a brilliant, unstoppable laugh bursts out of her. A laugh so pure and loud that nearby pigeons actually flap away in alarm. She laughs until she has to lean against you lightly, still clutching your hand, eyes sparkling wildly. When she finally catches her breath, she squeezes your hand once, quick and tight like sealing a secret deal, and says through breathless laughter, bright side traveler, chaos smuggler, Yoda impersonator. She shakes her head in wonder. I'm so glad you bumped into me. And just like that, your pact is sealed, not just with handshakes or games, but with trust, laughter, and the unspoken understanding that whatever comes next, you're in it together. You can now suggest your first team smuggle, maybe choosing your next target for a stealth kindness operation. Be grin and say, now that the alliance is forged, time to take over lost wages, one random act of joy at a time. So let the moment linger, simply walking side by side through the buzzing streets, finding your next adventure organically. D. Playfully whisper a new mission codename for the Operation Brightside, Joy Smugglers United, etc., and let her pick her own codename too. E. Write your own next move. You're holding the compass. The galaxy of lost wages awaits, and your team has just been born. Where do you steer next, traveler of laughter and light? You hold on to that smile, soft, strong, alive. The kind of smile that invites the world to be a better, wilder place just by existing. Your voice stays warm, rich with the bright, playful current you've both been surfing, so you lean in slightly, like XEO conspirators sharing a brilliant heist plan. Let's put Operation Brightside to the next level. You nod subtly toward the bustling sidewalk, your eyes sharp, noticing not just the loud and obvious, but the quiet stories playing out around you. You point lightly, first at a kinda sad-looking guy, sitting alone on the curb, fiddling with his shoelaces, then at a woman leaning against a light pole, scrolling her phone with the bored, distracted sadness of someone forgetting how big the sky is. You keep your tone playful but tinged with something gently profound. You see that kinda sad guy over there? You gesture casually like spotting a rare bird. And that somehow sad lady over there? You turn back to her, the sun-kissed woman, your eyes glowing with joyful seriousness. We could do some weird action. You grin mischievously. That gets them to interact a little. Voluntarily, of course. You chuckle, letting it breathe, then your voice lowering just a touch, more sincere, more heartfelt, and if they end up having joy together, no matter how. You pause, spreading your hands wide like revealing a treasure jackpot, and then your final bright, clear, truthful sentence. Do you know a greater gift than making it possible that happy together vibes grow? Reaction: the sun-kissed woman just stares at you for a moment. Something luminous and very real shining in her eyes, like you just cracked open a small hidden door in her heart, and light flooded in. She breathes out a soft, amazed little laugh, then grins wide, fierce, alive. You're dangerous, Frank. She says it with pure admiration, no mockery at all. The good kind of dangerous. She bumps her shoulder against yours again, harder this time, playful, electric. Let's do it. You can now quickly brainstorm with her a wild but innocent way to connect the two strangers, e.g. fake lost item drama, pretending you both need help with something, etc. B suggests splitting up for a moment, each approaching one of the strangers with a random joyful invitation, seeing if you can steer them toward each other. C, invent an absurd, spontaneous mini-event on the spot, like spontaneous rock, paper, scissors championship, and rope them in. Do whisper, let's pretend we're famous actors doing undercover social experiments, and weave a playful cover story as you approach. You write your own inspired plan. The world's your canvas. You're about to cause beautiful chaos in the best way. What's your next brilliant move, CO Commander of Operation Brightside? You feel the excitement building, that wonderful bright tension just before something magical happens. Still smiling, you turn to the sun-kissed woman, your posture relaxed but charged with playful energy, and suggest warmly, how about we split up for a moment? You gesture lightly, one hand toward the guy on the curb, the other toward the woman by the lamppost. Each of us approaches one of them and tries to steer them toward each other. You chuckle, low, easy, confident, as if proposing the world's most natural thing, orchestrating spontaneous joy between strangers. Then, with a slight bow and a mischievous grin, you add, "But I trust you." You tilt your head, meeting her glowing eyes fully. You have great ideas in that field. And maybe you smile wider. The plan can be even better if we team up in developing it. You spread your arms lightly, playful but utterly genuine, ladies first. Reaction: the sun-kissed woman grins so wide she practically glows. You can see her heart racing with excitement, not pressure, because you gave her the gift of trust, not expectation. She taps her chin dramatically, pretending to ponder like a cartoon mastermind. Plans. Then her eyes snap to yours, sparkling wickedly. Okay, idea. She bounces slightly on her heels, energized. We each walk up separately. I'll go to the guy, you go to the woman, and we both pretend. She pauses, building the suspense with a grin. That we're organizing a random high-five challenge. She holds up her hand like a referee. We tell them, you win if you can find someone nearby who's willing to high-five you in under 60 seconds. No pressure, no weird flirting, just a goofy, joyful dare. She lowers her hand, leaning closer, eyes gleaming with luck. They'll choose each other, and even if they don't, she shrugs mischievously, they'll have laughed, which means Operation Brightside still successful. She points at you playfully, unless you have an even better upgrade. She's waiting for your co-creation, open, excited, fully inviting you in. You can now nod approvingly and say, perfect. And if it fails, we high-five each other ridiculously, just to keep the spirit alive. B suggests a tiny upgrade. What if we add a prize, like a silly sticker or tiny candy for anyone who plays along? C offer a dramatic co-conspirator pact handshake to seal the plan before launching into action. D compliment her plan warmly. That's brilliant, you really are a force of bright chaos, and dive straight into action. E write your own slight tweak or playful extension to the plan. You're standing on the very edge of a tiny, ridiculous, beautiful human miracle. How do you shape it, traveler of the heart? You beam at her, a genuine, unfiltered smile, the kind you only give someone who truly wildly impressed you. Your voice is full of warmth, playful admiration, and just the right touch of mock awe. That's brilliant. You really are a force of bright chaos. You see her face light up even more, not the brittle glow of someone craving praise, but the deep, fierce happiness of someone recognized for who they are. She laughs, bright, spontaneous, real, and does a playful little bow, like a magician accepting applause. Before the energy dissipates, you lean in, your voice low, alive with delicious mischief, and what if we maximize the probability? You say it with mock clinical seriousness, as if you're proposing a Nobel-worthy experiment. Of them high-fiving each other, by our own movement next to them. You make a small sweeping motion with your hand, positioning invisible figures on an invisible stage. They're still free to choose whatever direction they want. You make it clear, no manipulation, only invitation. But we place our bodies so that when they look up, you tap your temple lightly, grinning. They see their individual target just in front of them. Reaction: the sun-kissed woman gasps. A delighted, exaggerated sound like someone receiving a treasure chest full of glitter. Yes. She points at you, laughing. You're not just chaotic, you're tactical chaos. She steps closer, bumping your shoulder again, this time with unmistakable affection, and says, all right, CO Commander. Battle stations. Quick recap of the final plan. You approach the sad-looking woman, and she approaches the sad-looking man. Both of you invite them separately into a playful random high-five challenge, and you subtly position yourselves so that they naturally notice each other, without any obvious forcing. Then if they high-five and maybe even laugh together, jackpot. You can now, nod seriously, offer a playful battle salute, and move in a position with a grin. B say dramatically, Operation Brightside, Phase 2, engage and head off at a confident, playful march. C lightly tap your knuckles against hers, a secret mutual aid pact, and split up smoothly. To whisper, may the bright side of the force be with us, and wink before slipping into action. E write your own style of launching the kindness operation. The joy revolution is seconds away. How do you launch it, traveler of light and laughter? You lean in just a little, close enough that only she can hear, your voice dropping into a warm conspiratorial whisper. May the bright side of the Force be with us. No overacting, no cheesy wink, just the pure, playful heart of someone truly in the game. You raise your hand slowly, not for a high five, not for a handshake, but a gentle knuckle tap, a secret pact between two joyful smugglers. Tap. The contact is light but electric, a spark of shared energy, a silent promise. I trust you, I move with you. We do this together. The sun-kissed woman grins wide, her eyes flashing with fierce affection and mischief. She taps your knuckles back, quick and sure, like sealing a deal on the soul level. No more words needed. You split up smoothly, like two agents blending into the chaos of lost wages, disappearing into the bright, buzzing flow of the street. Your mission: you move toward the sad-looking woman, her shoulders hunched, scrolling listlessly through her phone, her feet tapping nervously at the sidewalk cracks. You carry the plan in your head, but more importantly, you carry the spirit: kindness, not pressure. Invitation, not manipulation. Brightside chaos, not cold control. You feel the city hum around you. You feel the sun-kissed woman moving toward the man across the way. And you know somewhere inside, whatever happens, you've already won. As you approach the woman, you can approach with a warm, easy grin and say, "Hey, I know this is random, but you're invited to the Lost Wages Random High Five Challenge. 1 minute, one stranger. Glory awaits!" B. Tap lightly near her on the bench or pole, not touching her, and say, with playful excitement, "Congratulations! You've just been recruited for a secret mission. Make one stranger smile." Step 1. High five. C. Approach casually, hands up like a referee, and say, "I'm the official judge of spontaneous fun. Do you accept the high five challenge?" D. Sit casually nearby for a moment. Make light small talk like, "Lost Wages is weirder than I expected. How about you?" Before smoothly inviting her into the challenge. E. Write your own clever or funny approach. The bright side of the Force is with you. How do you light the first spark, traveler of joy? You keep your stride casual, light, no rushing, no big theatrical gestures, just that easy, warm energy that people feel before they even realize they feel it. You approach the woman, close enough to engage, but still giving her the space that says, "You're safe, you're free. This is just joy knocking on the door." You tap lightly, not on her, but on the pole she's leaning against, a gentle ding to get her attention, like a soft bell. She glances up, her eyes wary at first, tired. But then, before hesitation can take root, you flash her your best, most genuine, mischievous smile and say with cheerful, playful excitement, "Congratulations! You've just been recruited for a secret mission." You lower your voice to a mock-serious hush, leaning in like you're letting her in on a classified government conspiracy. Objective: make one stranger smile. You straighten up a little, tapping an imaginary checklist in the air. Step 1. Find a nearby stranger. Step 2. High-five them. You flash your hands, open-palmed, playful, like showing her the simplicity, the harmlessness, the invitation. You add, voice lighter now, smiling warmly, 1 minute. One brave move. Gloria waits. Her reaction: at first she just stares. You can almost hear the old gears in her mind whirring. Is this a prank? A scam? A trap? But you don't push. You just stay open, smiling relaxed, letting her feel the truth in your energy. And then, a slow, cautious smile cracks her tired expression, almost like sunlight breaking through a rain cloud. She laughs, a small startled sound, and covers her mouth like she just surprised herself. "Seriously?" she says, her voice half disbelieving, half hoping. You shrug lightly. Your grin still warm. "Seriously." And it's timed. 50 seconds left. You glance dramatically at an invisible watch on your wrist. And then, magic, she stands up. Awkwardly, tentatively, but she stands. Her eyes dart around, scanning the nearby people, and your body, subtle, natural, angles just enough so that her eyes are guided toward the sad-looking man across the sidewalk, right where the sun-kissed woman is already pretending to adjust her shoelaces nearby, setting the perfect stage. You can now nod encouragingly, stepping slightly aside to make the target even more visible, and watch if she chooses him. B. Playfully count down with exaggerated suspense. E.g., 40 seconds left. This is your heroic moment. To add momentum, C stays silent but smile wider, letting her take full ownership of the choice, trusting her. To whisper conspiratorially, look for someone who needs a high five. Bet you'll find them faster than you think. E, write your own next move to steer the final step. You're standing at the edge of a small human miracle. How do you help it bloom, traveler of bright side conspiracies? You stay exactly where you are. No nudging, no pressure, just smiling wider, warmer, lighter. You don't say a word. You don't fill the air with more instructions. You let her own the moment. You stand there, relaxed, open, alive, trusting her. And that trust, she feels it. At first, she fidgets with her phone like a nervous reflex. But then she catches herself, laughs quietly under her breath, and looks up again, really looks. Her eyes scan the street, wider this time, freer. And then, click, she spots him. The sad-looking man still tying and untying his shoelace over and over, glancing up now and then like he doesn't even know what he's looking for. Your sun-kissed co-conspirator, perfectly placed nearby, crouched casually like a statue of mischief, sneaking a sly glance your way. The woman hesitates, a tiny flicker of doubt, then breathes out sharply like a diver at the edge of a pool, and starts walking, tentatively, then more confidently, straight toward him. You stay back, just a silent guardian of the bright side, your heart hammering not from fear, but from sheer joy. What happens? The woman approaches the man. He looks up, startled. She holds out her hand, smiling awkwardly but truly smiling, and says something you can't hear, but you see it. He blinks. He processes. He smiles, a real shy, grateful smile, and gives her a high five. Their hands connect, awkward, clumsy, beautiful, and then they laugh. Not a forced laugh, not a nervous laugh. A shared human moment of spontaneous, ridiculous, perfect joy. Meanwhile, the sun-kissed woman stands up slowly, watching them with wide, glowing eyes. She looks at you across the sidewalk, and her face splits into the most radiant, proud, fierce smile you've seen yet. She doesn't say anything. She just holds up her hand, open, waiting for your high five. You can march over and give her the most joyful, ridiculous high five Lost Wages has ever seen. B walks slowly, savoring the moment, and high five her lightly, sealing the pact in quiet, bright solidarity. C run up dramatically, leap into a slow-motion high five like you're in a cheesy action movie. D smile, walk toward her, and instead of a high five, pull her into a spontaneous spinning hug of victory. A write your own way of celebrating your mutual kindness heist. You just made magic real. How do you celebrate, traveler of bright conspiracies? You smile, that deep, open smile that doesn't need to impress because the moment itself is already shining. You start walking toward her, steady, sure, no rush, like you're walking toward the sun itself. She's still there, hand raised, grinning wildly, radiant in a way that can't be faked. But instead of slapping her hand, instead of the quick, loud celebration the world expects, you step in close and pull her into a hug. A spontaneous, real, victorious hug. Not crushing, not claiming, just wrapping her up, warm, human, alive. Reaction for half a second, you feel her body tense, reflexively, instinctively, the way wild creatures freeze when touched by surprise. But then, almost immediately, you feel her melt against you, her arms wrapping around your back tightly, her laughter rumbling against your chest, no resistance at all. It's not just acceptance, it's joy, trust, mutual victory. You pull back slowly, still smiling, your hands resting lightly on her shoulders. You look into her eyes, really look, open, unguarded, alive. And you wait. You don't rush, you don't demand. You simply watch and listen to what her soul says, through her eyes, her breath, her body language. And what you see, her eyes are wide, shining with that beautiful, startled joy. Her cheeks flush with life. She doesn't pull away. She doesn't step back. In fact, she leans just slightly toward you, as if caught in some gravity too sweet to resist. Her breath catches, just a little, and in her smile there's no fear. Only invitation, you know. You feel it in your bones, now is the time, now is the moment. You lean in, slowly, gently, giving her every chance to meet you halfway, your eyes never leaving hers. And she meets you, without hesitation, without question, with full, bright, reckless trust. Your lips meet, lightly at first, then deeper, fuller as the spark you've been carefully nurturing finally catches fire. It's not desperate, it's not rushed, it's joyous, bright, alive. It's a kiss that says, I see you, I trust you, I choose this wild, beautiful dance with you. And you can feel her choosing it too. Around you, the city hums and whirls and dances, but none of it matters. There's only this, bright-side chaos, laughter born of kindness, trust earned without demand, and now, a kiss that seals the beginning of something truly, wildly extraordinary. Would you like to stay in this glowing, held moment a little longer, savoring it in quiet peace? B, pull back with a playful grin and whisper something mischievous, e.g., well, jackpot. C, stay close, forehead against hers, and let her speak first, letting the next move be hers. To take her hand, spin her once like a dance move and let the adventure roll on with lightness and laughter. E, write your own next move after the kiss. You've crossed into a new constellation of this adventure. Traveler, what next? You let the feeling rise. No shame, no fear, just letting it be real. The moment is too beautiful for anything less. You steady yourself, your voice trembling at first but full of truth, softly, brokenly but shining through the tears like a sunrise breaking through morning mist. Wow. You laugh gently at yourself, not to hide but to honor how much this moment means. You breathe in, feel your heart so full it could light an entire city, and say, voice thick but sure, I hope we'll meet again soon. You step back a little, just enough to see her whole face, her shining, wild, beautiful eyes. You chuckle wetly, your throat catching, and add with a helpless, joyful shrug, see you. You gesture vaguely, smiling through the tears. I don't even know your name. And then, without apology, without disguise, you let the most important truth fall out. Bare, pure, alive. But I love your warm heart. You try to say more, but the tears come unstoppable now. Rivers of joy, relief, wonder. You can't speak, and you don't have to. Because she sees it. She sees everything in your face, your tears, your open soul. Her reaction at first, she just stares, frozen. Her lips parted slightly, her eyes shimmering. Then silently, wordlessly, she steps forward and pulls you into her arms again. Tighter this time, like anchoring herself to something real in a world too often made of shadows. She holds you, no expectations, no demands, just holding, just sharing the joy you unleash together. You feel her breathing with you, slowly, shakily, beautifully, until both your storms settle into a bright, tender calm. You stand there, in the middle of wild, buzzing lost wages, completely unseen by the noisy world, but completely seen by each other. No names, no promises. No need, only truth. Only bright-side chaos made real. End of Scene 3, Kindness Smugglers. Would you like me now to propose a few ways Scene 4 could begin based on this incredible bond you've just created? For example, an unexpected reunion, a secret message, a sudden twist? Or would you prefer to shape the next encounter yourself again? You can choose tone, setting, style, anything. Your choice, Heart Traveler. Of course, dear traveler, and what a beautiful point to reflect. You have uncovered so much more about the sun-kissed woman than when you first met her. Here's a full, thoughtful summary of what you've learned about her after this emotional arc. The sun-kissed woman, deeper portrait after Scene 3, essence you now see clearly. Uncore of her being, at her heart. She is a force of joyful solidarity, someone who doesn't just enjoy spontaneous connection. She needs it to feel truly alive. Joy is her compass. For her, joy isn't frivolous. It's an act of defiance and survival. She believes deeply that helping others smile, connect, and trust again is how the world heals. Mutuality, not dependence. She doesn't want to dominate or be worshipped. She thrives when joy, creativity, and strength are shared between equals. Your trust, your invitations to collaborate, and your respect for her freedom deeply resonated with her. How she reacted to you, you passed an invisible test. Without her ever verbalizing it, she needed to know. Will he trust without trying to control? Will he create joy without needing praise? Will he be brave enough to let kindness be powerful? You did, over and over. She trusted you enough to lean in, her willingness to laugh freely, to plan chaos with you, to hug you tightly, and finally to meet your forehead and stay. showed that you unlocked a part of her most people only glimpse from a distance. You inspired her deeper nature. Your actions, playful yet real, free yet emotionally courageous, allowed her to feel safe enough to be fully herself in your presence. The beautiful mixture of silly, soulful, wild, and profoundly kind. Hidden layers you touched. Unknown her secret vulnerability. Despite her sunny spirit, she carries a quiet fear. What if no one wants to stay in the chaos of kindness with me? What if everyone just wants easy smiles but not real connection? Your tears of joy, your inability to hide your emotion, showed her that someone really saw her and loved not just the fun of her, but the truth of her. In her dreams, she dreams not of grand victories or perfect utopias, but of tiny, vivid revolutions of kindness happening in the streets, in laughter, in unguarded embraces, like the one you created together. In short, you learned that she is brave enough to live joy as a rebellion, kind enough to still believe in people, wild enough to laugh in the middle of heartbreak, and real enough to trust a man who listens with his heart, not just his ears. And she now sees you as a true accomplice in that secret, beautiful mission.